I hear tell that there's something coming up that they're working on that's going to continue something?
Well, this is something that people are just going to find out about, is that Alan Burnett has written a new script for Batman. And it's based on the 92 Batman the Animated Series character.
But it's a secret, so don't tell anyone.
Don't tell anybody.
Do you think there'll be any more Riddlers? More than 3?
It'll be on HBO Max or on Spotify. But it's definitely in the works.
Oh, wow.
But don't tell anybody.
Yeah, big secret.
Well, can you tell us a little bit about it's almost a radio drama podcast of sorts. Can you give us any information about where Batman is or what the storyline is at all? Can you give us a little bit of detail?
I don't know. I don't think I'm allowed to say anything.
I wouldn't.
Except to say that it's coming and it's really good. It's a great script.
So, I know
And it's the original characters and most of the original cast.
Yes, most of the original cast is coming back to do the podcast, and Alan Burnett's writing the script. And I also
The
heard
Riddler didn't get killed, did he? I get killed a lot, you know. Oh, it's serious. I can't have that many twins.
Well, I heard that Alan Burnett is writing the script, and also I think Danny Elfman is going to have some involvement as well. It's really bringing back all of the BTAS that we enjoyed in '92, really celebrating the 30th anniversary. But I did hear that Riddler is going to be.
Oh, I like the way you think.
I think
That would be
so.
Yes, he is.
I think he's on the spectrum.
Yes, he is. From what I've heard, that he is playing more of a detective role of sorts, but he is also on the autism spectrum, which kind of deals with kind of how he's specific with details, and I think that's really interesting because the Riddler, even in comics before, has worked alongside Batman in Detective Comics books to play that kind of detective role. But I think that's a great way to look at not only the spectrum, and because there aren't a lot of DC characters who are on the spectrum. There's Black Manta, and that was introduced in the early 2000s, but seeing the Riddler being this within the mythos, I think would be really great to explore.
It's a perfect character for being on the spectrum.
Yes, I
think the question.
little
I think
bats.
the question might be on the spectrum too. I would say. Question seems like he.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So the fact that the podcast will introduce that to an already beloved character in the Riddler within the DCAU, I think is fantastic. So the original voice cast and Danny Elfman and Alan Burnett and the original writers and producers, it's going to be amazing. It's a perfect way to celebrate the 30th anniversary of Batman the Animated Series, I think. And I think just to round this out, do you have a particular favorite episode or moment from the original animated series, Batman Beyond, that you would tell anybody who's not watched it? Like, oh, these are the episodes, this is the moment that you should watch to really understand.
Well, you have to see the episode Perchance to Dream.
Yes!
It's a great
That's my
episode.
favorite.
And it takes you back into Batman's childhood, how he evolved. And my favorite project was Mask of the Phantasm. That's a great movie with wonderful performances by Dana Delaney and Stacy Keach. I mean, it's an amazing cast.
Can you do an impression of the Joker?
I got a lot of watching to do. Man, I had no idea
What?
about how deep it went. It goes.
Oh, yeah.
I know. I keep hearing things, and I feel so like an idiot. On the spectrum.
That's one of the joys of. So I'm a self-proclaimed and very proud nerd. Thank you. Thank you, one person who agrees with me. And the joy of any nerddom is you scratch the surface and then you can go down the rabbit hole and you find a whole world around whatever you want. So that is one of the joys of nerddom, says the Dungeons and Dragons player. It's like you want to fall into Batman, you can fall for months and years, or any DC or any Marvel or anything you love. You scratch the surface, and next thing you know, you're painting minis for years. So it's great, yeah.
Well, I am so happy that I was able to talk to you about just the eras of Batman animation and even Batman the Caped Crusader, a new series that's coming out, and it continues on with the legacy of Batman in this form. And I just cannot wait to hear what's in store with the Batman the Animated Series podcast that is coming out.
Yes.
To celebrate 30th anniversary. Can you believe that it's been 30 years?